Thomas Frank did it in Notion, and I've done it in Obsidian. This template vault is the base of my entire vault inside of Obsidian with 5,000 plus notes. My series on Vaultcraft goes into more depth about how I add some nuance in my own Vaultcraft, but you will have different use cases, different contexts for your own craft of the vault. Inside of Obsidian, the vault is the name of the top level folder. In this case, this is the extended brain vault. The view that you see in Obsidian is a workspace, and you can save workspaces using the Workspace plugin. So if I load my home workspace, you can see it's jumped me straight back to the help documentation of this template and the start here page. You can add as many workspaces as you want. You can customize the workspaces by moving pages, panes, adding pages, adding tabs in the new 0.16 plus versions. And because almost every action in Obsidian can be added to a hotkey, you can see you can load a workspace through a hotkey and search it through the workspace menu. So from my keyboard, Control-Shift-O, and then I can type in the name of the workspace I want and push enter. When starting my day, I just want one place to go to. I don't want to have to worry about what workspace I'm going to, what dashboard I'm going to. I just want to go to one place every day consistently, and that is my daily note. You can see there is a button to the side, open today's daily note, and that will automatically add in a template that has yesterday's day, today's day, and tomorrow's day all linked at the top of the page. It has a section ready for me to add my daily log, tasks, action, projects, things like that, which we'll go through in a minute. My preset habits that I want to do every single day, I can cross them off by adding a cross next to the habit. My task list is automatically generated in my task inbox using a data view query. And my note inbox is also automatically generated, giving me the notes, giving me the meetings that haven't been linked to a project or a resource that I'm working on. This is one of the many templates I have in this space to speed things up and make things quicker. So if I click on Templater, you can see these are all the templates I have in the space. Again, all of these can be accessed by a hotkey. So if I want to put today's date on a task, I can push Control Dot instead of having to find the template anywhere. I've done a blog post you can find on my website that goes over this daily linking that uses the templater. If that's something you're interested in, I'll leave a link in the description for that. But if you're like me and also want to start on the daily note, I suggest going into the daily note settings and then starting up the day with the daily note. So you can tick that on. Then when you open up Obsidian the next day, irrespective of where you left Obsidian the day before, it will bring up your daily note with the new template. Going back to one of the example days that we've got in this template, you can see it's been linked to the day before, which we can jump straight to. There is a blue line underneath that one because that one hasn't been created. Then we've got that day, and then the day after, that's yesterday, so that will be today's date. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we've got tomorrow's. In this example daily log, there was a meeting in the morning, so I created a page for that meeting. I can open that page. Because I'm currently using an insider version, I have tabs available, which is version 16 plus, which is coming public soon. If I then drag this Zoom meeting over to another panel, you can see it next to my daily note. I've then taken additional notes inside of the meeting. I've added in some tasks specific to the meeting. I added in a question that hasn't yet been answered, and I added a question that was answered during the meeting. After the meeting during the day, there were some more interesting daily things. Another idea came to mind and I thought, you know what, that would be good for a business related thing. So I typed it in the daily note as a task and then #business. Then there was another idea but related to the home space, so #home. I then either consumed a blog, watched a video, listened to a podcast, and I made a note on that. And you can see it looks very similar to the meeting note. Again, this is the template that you can just add in, which brings the tag, brings the source. All you'd need to do is just write these notes down, and you can see there was a completed task in this note. Another quick zoom after that in the day, and then I plan to read 10 pages of a book. And that's related to the book dashboard, so #book, but I didn't actually read it, so I left it unchecked. This is the example task inbox for this specific day, and you can see in this fictitious day I was not very productive because I didn't get anything done. Now in the task list, right at the top, we've got a task that's due on the 27th of the 8th. But was created a whole month before that, which is why I add the created time to all of the tasks. Because even though in the daily note I know it's that day, if it surfaced somewhere else, I might not remember what day it was created. The due time of a task is automatically the day you created the task, which is why I've added a due time to this task, because I don't want the task to be due on the day it was created. And again, these are both templates that you can just add in when you're creating the task. And the example of the due date can be seen here because this task was created the day after this task inbox was first added, but because this task is due the day after, it's now showing here. The same can be said for this book recommendation, but all the other tasks that were created on that day, whether they were created in the daily note, or in this example where it was created in a business project example, it was created down here, but the created date brings it to the task inbox in the daily note. So I don't need to go looking for this, and you can add a task anywhere in the vault, and if the created date is that day, it will show up. In Notion, you'd need a task database and have linked database views on all of the different pages that you want to add a task in, whereas in Obsidian, you just create the task. Now, when we look at this task, there's a priority on it. And again, this is templateable and hotkeyable, so Control-Shift-1 for high, 2 for medium, 3 for low. So when typing out a task, Control-Enter to make the task, write the task, Control-Dot to add the created date, and then Control-Shift-1 to high priority, and now you've created the task and it's going to appear. Now, of course, because I've just made this, it's added the created date, which is today, which is a few days after making this template information, so you can see when the tasks were added. Now, when we look into the note inbox, there are currently 3 notes in there, one of them being this Zoom meeting example that we had a look at earlier. And when we look at the backlinks, there is a link. It's linked to a daily note because it was created in a daily note, but it isn't linked to any sort of project. If I decide that meeting maybe is specific to the business project, I can then create the link, Zoom meeting example. Now when I go back to the Zoom meeting, you can see it's linked to a project and now it's disappeared from the note inbox automatically. To have a look at all of the projects, you can click on the hashtag project and it will bring up that list. Alternatively, you can go into the tags pane down here and click on hashtag project and it will get to the same result. If we have a look at this business project example, we've got a deadline in there. We've got the days left, which is actually a week and 2 days in the past because this is an example template. But we have a progress bar of the actions related to getting the project done, which is this query right here. But we also have another query with related actions. And what the related actions looks for is anything that is related but not directly specific to the project progress. So maybe I make a task in my daily note where I need to do the business project example before the home project example. Now I've linked the business project example and the home project example together in one task, and now it's showing in the related actions, so I know I need to do this project before I do the home project. And you can see when I go to the home project example, the related actions is there as well because it's linked, so I know when I come into here, oh, I need to do the project example in the business before I can do this one. I also find this related action section personally useful when I'm inside of my resources or my notes. So when I'm researching something, I can research something and say, actually, this is specific to that project. So I should probably summarize this page or finalize this bit of research before I start on this project. Now, it's not directly related to completing the project, but it's something I would like to do and it's related. As a quick example from my actual vault, you can see this is my cognitive load theory research page, which has loads of areas of cognitive load theory about it. And what I've done is I've just added a very quick task at the bottom that says, do the cognitive load section. So this is a section in the page about cognitive load, and do it for the Ultimate Second Brain video, which is the video I'm currently recording. If I then go to that video, which I have as another tab over here, you can see we've got the actions to actually do the video, so edit the video, in process, upload, and then publish, but I then have related actions. So this is the task I've just created, then I have another related action here, and here, this one is in the template page, so if I open this up, you can see the sales page. And then I also have another related task that I can't quite remember, but if I click into it, I can find out that it's actually in the website. So this is a page that was in my website, and you can see it's linked because it's related, but it's not specific to completing the project. Going back to the project, it's 50% because when we have a look down at the bottom of the to-do section, there are 2 tasks. Now, you don't want to add them up if there are loads and loads of tasks, which is why the progress bar is there, but you can see there's 50% of them done. With the one that needs to be completed showing at the top, and you can tick that off right here. And you can see now it's added a completed date, which is today, on that task, so I can see when I completed the task in my what I would call a task history. It's then emptied out the project actions, and now the progress is 100%. A project note is just like any other note, it's just a file inside of folders. So when we have a look at the links, this project was created in the example note. And the example note was created in the daily note. So we've got the daily note being created. That could be a video, a blog, an article, anything you've consumed, maybe even a meeting. Then inside of there, so during that consumption, you decided, or I decided, you know what, that's a really good project idea. It could be related, it might not be related. But I created a task, I decided to act on the task and create a project example right there. Once the note was created, instead of using the note template, I used the project template to turn it into a project, which added the hashtag project in there. For tracking people, that could be clients, that could be authors, that could be lecturers, that could be friends, it could be anyone you want. I've also created a people page. It finds the projects the people are related to. So if you have a look, you've got person 1 in there. And if we have a look, we've got person 1 in there. Any actions the person may have. So if you've got a question you want to ask someone, or a question that someone has asked, you can put that in. Or if there's an idea you got from someone, or a recommended book you got from someone, again, just mention them in the task and it will appear in their page. And for this example, we've got a meeting as well that this person happened to be involved in. We've got myself, Danny, that's not a link, it's just a name. And then we've got a person that does have a link inside of this vault. But what if I don't want to look at my daily notes and I want to take a step back, do some week planning, month planning, or have a look at how well I'm doing at a project, a goal, or anything like that? Well, what I've done is I've made another note, but it's a dashboard note. So it's still just a normal file, but when I go into the templates, I've used the dashboard template. And what I'm showing here is the projects that I need to complete, which is this one at 50%. Now we've just completed the business project example, which is why it's in the completed section, and it's showing the deadline of when it should have been completed. All of the actions related to business. So we have the 2 actions that are related to the business project that hasn't been completed, but we also have 2 actions that are somewhere else, but it's got hashtag project on. So if I hold Control and click on the task, it takes me to that task. And this task was created in the Zoom meeting example. Now I'm going to pin this page to make it easier. And then if I click on this task, it shows me where this one was created, which was created in a daily log. By just adding a hashtag, it directs the task to the dashboard that it needs to be surfaced in. Now I've added an additional section here for questions. This could be ideas, these could be clients, it could be anything that you want that you have a tag for. Now this isn't looking for all of the questions. Because when I click on the hashtag questions, or if I go into the tag pane and click on it, you can see it's come up with the search results. If I expand those results, we've got one question in here that's completed. It was answered. So I don't need to see that in here. So it's only showing me the 2 questions that haven't been answered. And it's automatically linked to the note it came from. So I've got one from the quick Zoom and one from the Zoom meeting, which I can click and navigate to straight away. If we have a look at the home dashboard very quickly, it's basically the same thing as the business dashboard, but instead of looking for business, it's looking for the home projects. There's nothing completed, we've still got the actions, and there aren't any questions, so I don't have any questions in here, but you can create a dashboard for anything. Books is another example, so now it's looking for all of the hashtag books and looking for a book that you're reading, or this book that was recommended at some point. There you go, it was recommended on the 27th of the 8th. We've got a to-read book, and then we've got a started list with the progress going through. Creating a goals dashboard is very similar. We just look for the specific projects we want. So we want the business project and the home projects. If we click on the projects tag, you can see there is a book project going on and another book project going on, but I don't want them in this goal, so I'm not going to search for them. Having goals with measurable metrics, quantifiable data, or qualitative data is obviously going to change what this dashboard looks like, but this is an example. Those habits we were tracking in the daily notes, here is a summary. So the new note, this was today's note, and I put the cross and I put yes next to habit 1 and 3. So it's ticked off 1 and 3, and these are the habit results of the previous days. I've made this only show the last 30 days, so I've limited the view to 30 days. So when it gets to 30, it's just going to cycle through, but you can expand that to 60, 100, or reduce that down to 10. Then we have the task dashboard, and I've taken some inspiration from Thomas Frank and put in a cold task section. So what this is doing is looking for any task that's over 2 weeks old that hasn't been complete. So you can see this one was made over a month before the 8th. It's now almost 2 months before today, the day that I'm recording this. So it's showing up here because I haven't completed it. And then there's this one. As the template gets older, more of the tasks will appear in this view. So if you get this template 3 or 4 months down the line, then all of the tasks will probably be appearing in here because they're all out of date. Then I have a quiet task section, and these are tasks that don't have a created date on. Now you saw throughout the video that seeing the created date in all of these different views is useful for seeing, well, this one was created then, this one was created then, rather than having to click on the task or click on the links or go to the backlinks. It just shows in the task. And when I see these questions, I won't know when the question came up. So I don't know if it's outdated or if I need to go back to a daily note or something that triggers my ideas. So I have this here to then go in and add the note. And to find the day, I can simply click on it. And this was created in the Zoom meeting example, and it's linked to the 26th of the 8th. So that's when this note was made, which must be when this was added. There is then a list of all the recently completed tasks. This is limited to 10 because all of the tasks, if you've got a very productive day and you've got 40 or 50, this list could be very long. Then we have the all tasks list. Now, there aren't actually that many tasks in this space, but because they're surfaced in different places, it can look like there are more than there actually are. The community plugins that are in this vault is Data View, which are all the queries that you're seeing with the tasks being shown and all the progress bars. Tag Wrangler, which allows you to sort through tags a little bit easier, not something everyone needs, but if you're going to use lots of tags, it helps to include and exclude them from search. Templater, which is an advanced version of the default templates core plugin, which you saw up at the top, and that allows for all of those automatic dates to be put in, and they're also included in the progress bars, which I explain in the help documentation in the template. And there's also the Zotero integration. Now, my personal workflow when I'm capturing notes, whether that's videos, podcasts, blogs, or academic articles, they all go into Zotero. And I've added in my Zotero template in here, which I explain more in my Internet Academics course, but I do have that in here in case that's something you're interested in using and going through Zotero. Now, this is a different example vault, academic, which has the exact same queries, same setup, same daily notes, same workspace, everything the same, but the dashboards have been renamed. And you can rename them as you go, you can use any template, but in this example we've now got module assessment instead of a business project, and another assessment, so this is the module 1, and when we go into the assessment you can see, well, now we've got a task for the module. And when we look at the daily log, we've now got a lecture note in here instead of a Zoom meeting, so when we open this one up, we've now got notes from the lecture, we can add questions in, ideas, answers, books, references, anything that we need or want from the lesson. And again, because these are just tagged, they will appear wherever you want them to. Now, for you para fans out there, for those of you that don't know what para is, it's from Tiago Forte. He uses projects, areas, resources, and archives to essentially manage the folder system in most applications. I do have a template download that is the same. It's got the same pages, the same notes, the same links, the same structure, but instead of all the notes being stored in the notes folder, you've got the notes being stored in the resources, you've got the projects being stored in the projects, and then you've got the journal in the journal. Areas is where the dashboards are. The archives folder is empty because I don't really know what you would put in archives. It was very similar to when I was in Notion. I didn't really know where to put things in Notion when I archived them. I didn't want an archive space, I just had a tick box. But I've added the folder there just in case, and then you've got the templates folder again with all the templates in there. Now, inside of my vault, through the Vaultcraft series, you can see my actions is actually split up into priorities, inbox, reminders. I then have a project inbox as well, and you can customize the daily note as much as you want. The template is a simple starting point, but I do want to emphasize the Workspace plugin. So the core plugin that I explained at the beginning of the video, there was the home space. In my home space, because I'm on version 0.16 plus, so I'm 16.2 at the moment, I have tabs. So I have my dashboards at the top in my home workspace that I can navigate to very, very quickly. So if you want to go to a specific class, module, lecture, you can have that as a workspace saved. And if you want to change any of those workspaces, so if I move the search over here, the local graph down here, and move the backlinks over to this side, and maybe put the page into the sidebar, wherever you want, you can change the workspace look, save it, and then go back to it whenever you want. So if you're writing in a space and you have that set up, save the workspace, and then go back to your home workspace or your daily note whenever you want. On top of the advantage that Obsidian is locally stored, so all of your data is safe and you don't have to worry about cloud services going down or the speed decreasing because Obsidian is that fast, there is also a mobile app. Now, yes, you do need to pay for sync for the Obsidian specific sync, but you can use Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or the GitHub if you wanted to sync the two apps. You're seeing me on my phone right now. This is my task list for today. I've added in all of some of this stuff last night, and if I add in a quick task, you can see up here if I'm scrolling left and right, that's a mobile bar that you can customize. You can add any command, so all of those hotkeys you can put in Obsidian, they go into this taskbar. So if I push the tick twice, I've now added a task, so let's go task, and then for that hotkey that we add the date, you can see the question marks, it doesn't have an icon for it, that is my automatic template hotkey that I created. I just added it in. So that's as quick as it really can be on your phone. It's just nice and easy. Now, inside of my Internet Academics course, I go through more than just the template. I go through my entire Obsidian workflow and some of the other Obsidian things that you don't really see inside of the template. I also go through Morgan, which is my task and calendar app of choice. I also go through Zotero, which is my capture tool of choice, allowing me to highlight papers and blogs and web pages. And you can see in here, crab videos. So this is a video. If I right click and then go open Markdown note, there is the video capture note that I took, and it's taken me straight there. All of the links are in the description to the template, to the course, to the blog articles, and have a look at the Vaultcraft series as well as that goes on, because that is my specific vault that I'm going to be chopping and changing over time, which you may want to adopt some of those ideas from. And I do want to give a big thank you to anyone that's in the DataView Discord thread, because I've learned so much from there. I suggest having a look at my DataView blog, because it goes over what I've learned in the last couple of weeks and all of the other things that you can see in this template. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section of the video or join the Discord, and then we can have a bigger discussion in there.